What is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, and welcome to this episode of the Galaxy Core Prime full review. Now, there will be a timestamp down below in the description, so you can go ahead and customize your experience, whether you want to buy this phone and you don't have time to watch everything, or you just want to watch for fun. Go ahead and customize your experience down below in the descriptions. We're going to cover everything you need to know about this phone right here, right now. Let's go, guys. Alright guys, so let's kick this review off by talking about the hardware tour of the device. Now, I put the screen protector thing that came on to show you the specs. Now, I'm not going to talk a whole bunch about the specs too much, but I'll leave the specs right here in the little list right here so you can read them yourself. But basically, for all of you who want to hear, it says right there, high quality camera, 5 megapixel front, 2 megapixel rear, and it says fast quad core processor that has a Snapdragon 410 with 1 gigabyte of RAM and an enjoyable WVGA TFT screen. So not quite HD. Let's peel that off now. Let's do our hardware tour. So this is going to be your 4.5 inch 480 by 800 pixels. This right here at the top, you're going to see your 2 megapixel camera, accelerometer, and for like auto brightness and stuff. Here is your speaker grill for talking, hearing actually. Going down to the bottom, you're going to see your home button, your back key, and your multitasking switch key. Now, these do not light up, but we'll talk more about that later. Going down to the bottom, you're going to see you have a micro USB port here and a microphone for talking. Going off to the right side, you're going to see there is nothing up until here, where is your power button rests right there. So going up to the top, you're going to find yourself a microphone here as well, and a 3.5 millimeter headset jack right there with the Qualcomm 4G sticker letting you know this is an LTE device. Going on to what would be your left side is going to be the volume rocker switch, which goes up and down. Gotta pop that back in. And yeah, so that's pretty much the front and the sides. Going to the back, you're gonna find that 5 megapixel Samsung lens, and you're gonna find your speaker right here, as well as your camera flash right here. Samsung branding. And yeah, pretty much nothing there. So that's cool that we don't have the Samsung or any carrier branding. This is the T-Mobile version, so you guys know. Let me pop off the back and show you what's inside. So let's pop off the back, and you're going to see that you have a 2000 milliamp removable battery here. So that is a 2000 milliamp, 3.8 volts. Samsung stuff we don't even care to read. We have a micro SD card slot as well as a SIM card slot. And yeah, pretty much that's about it. No waterproofing here, but it does hold the 64 gig, as you can see. That's what I have right there. So yeah, that's pretty much what you're going to expect on the hardware tour of this device. Alright guys, so in this section, let's talk about the build quality of the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime. And this is what really shocked me. This is very solid build quality. I mean, it just has a very nice feel in the hand, and it's very well put together. Even though it's plastic, it's a very well put together plastic device. I don't believe we have Gorilla Glass 3 here, but the whole phone itself is very ergonomic in the hand. As you can see, it just curves to your palm, so very ergonomic and nice to hold. The back cover is very sturdy as well, and you really got to pop it into place. So if I go ahead and pop it into place, you're going to see you really got to get these seams nice and popped in. So it's a very sturdy device. And what about the size, since we're talking about the ergonomics? So shout out to everybody who used to love the Samsung Galaxy S2. Yes, it's a dinosaur now, but it's basically the same exact size as that device. So if you remember the Samsung Galaxy S2 from T-Mobile, if you had this phone, go ahead and hit that thumbs up down below, comment about it. This is the it's the identical size of the Samsung Galaxy S2, as you can see there. But what about all of you who, you broke your S4 and you need a little backup phone temporarily? Here is the S4 next to it, very close in size there. Although the S4 is ever so slightly longer and ever so slightly thinner than the Core Prime. But as far as the Galaxy S5, it's not even close here. The Galaxy S5 is just kind of a monster next to this phone. So yeah, that's basically, a size comparison, as well as, ergonomics and build. Build is pretty good, contours to your hand. So that is the build quality section of the Galaxy Core Prime. Alright guys, in this section we're just going to boot this baby up in a boot up test in 3, 2, 1. and we're just going to see kind of how fast it takes or how long it takes. So it says the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime powered by Android. All Androids do this now. So you can see that it's going to show the T-Mobile logo, of course, because this is a T-Mobile branded, and whatever branded one you can get, you're going to see the same thing, Samsung. But this phone comes in several different carriers, and I'm going to leave all the links to every carrier that it comes for in the links in the description down below, so you can easily go ahead and pick one up if you want, or just check out the information if you don't want to go do a whole bunch of research, you just want easy access. So yeah, that was the boot up test. Took about 35 seconds, so not bad at all. Alright guys, so let's talk about software on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime, and this is what I really enjoy about this phone, is that it gives you the similar software that you're going to get on the Samsung Galaxy S6 or all the newer Samsung devices with that toned down TouchWiz feel. Let me go ahead and close that out real quick. We're going to go down to About Device, and you're going to see that we are running Android version 5.1.1, so not quite a marshmallow device, but it does run pretty close to the current operating system, which is Marshmallow 6.0 or 6.0.1. And yeah, but overall, what's cool about the software in here is you, like I say, you get the Samsung Galaxy S6 look with the toned down, you know, menu system up here. If you go into settings, you get that easy to use, you know, straight up and down menu with not too many options that's gonna confuse the hell out of you. And it gives you those nice curved icons there as well, just like you're gonna get on the Samsung Galaxy S6. And those nice fly-in animations that gives the illusion that the phone is smoother than it really is, which is cool because we want it to be smoother. As well as if you go into calendar, you get this this newer calendar look as compared to the old TouchWiz UI, and you get this new gallery that shows the white background. So it is different. Now, if you're not used to having Samsung devices and this is going to be your first Samsung device, you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But if you have had Samsung devices, you'll know that this is the S6 style software. And even the camera, if you go into the camera, that's the same look that you'll get on the Samsung Galaxy S6. And also, one cool thing is even the messaging. So if you go into messaging and you do a typing test, you can see that you have that nice curved keyboard, which is pretty great and responsive here on the Galaxy Core Prime. So yeah, you don't get too many extra software features. You do get one extra feature, which is the ultra power saving mode. We'll talk more about that later. But that's pretty much software on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime. Alright guys, so in this section I want to talk about positive aspects of the Galaxy Core Prime, and let me just give you my experience of what has been positive about this device. Number one is going to be the software. We just talked about it, but the software on this device is lovely to use. It's very simple, very toned down TouchWiz. There's not much going on here, so the software overall is pretty fun to use, and I really like the theming that's going on here. The second positive aspect about this device is going to be the cameras, but we're going to show you the samples and more in the camera section of the video. The cameras, even though it's a 5 megapixel, don't be fooled by the megapixel count, it's pretty solid. And the front facing camera is pretty solid as well. And actually, I ain't gonna lie, it's not too much worse than the Samsung Galaxy S5, to be honest. So the cameras are a go in terms of that aspect. Another positive aspect I have of this device is the screen. Even though the screen is only 400 by 800 or whatever it is, 480 by 800 pixels, is a TFT panel. It's not AMOLED. The viewing angles are okay, but it's a pretty enjoyable screen. The color reproduction is pretty solid. It's not too bad. And the only thing you're going to notice when you first get it out of the box, it's not going to be amazing you. It's not going to be like, whoa, this screen just amazed the hell out of me. But it's not going to disappoint you either. And you'll just forget about it after using it for a couple of days, and you'll just start to enjoy the phone. So the screen is also a win in my opinion. It's 207 pixels per inch here. So it's nowhere near the 450, but do we really need that? Probably not. We can still read no matter what. Some of our laptops got like 140 ppi, but we never talk about that. Most of our laptops actually are below 200 ppi, but we never talk about that. But overall, yeah, that was another positive aspect. Also, another positive aspect is the overall performance. Although it's not as good as the Galaxy Grand Prime, did a review on that earlier. You could check that down below in the description card right here. It still performs pretty well, and I'm actually not too disappointed in the performance. Although there is a little bit of choppiness here and there. Apps open relatively quickly, and it's probably due to that 64-bit 410 quad-core processor on the Snapdragon 410. But overall, the thing performs, pretty well, and a lot better than, budget phones of past. So you're gonna be not too disappointed in what you get in terms of performance here. So that's another positive aspect. Another positive aspect is the great battery life on this phone. This phone has tremendous battery life. I'm getting like 4 hours plus on screen time. So, and you know, like 13 hours, 15 hours just in standby. So the battery life is just phenomenal, and that's probably due to its lower tier specifications. So yeah, that's a pretty great thing as well. And another great thing is that it runs, you know, Android 5.1.1. Probably won't be upgraded to 6.0, but you know, maybe it will. So it does run more current software and, you know, S6 theming. So that's a great thing as well. So yeah, that's pretty much. Also the ergonomics, you know, that's a great positive aspect to me. I really like a 4.5 inch screen. I like how it fits in the hand. It just curves to your palm, and it's very easy to use one-handed. So you can reach all corners from here to here to here to here. No, but basically, yes, those are the positive aspects of the Galaxy Core Prime for me. Also expandable storage. So what are the negative aspects of this device? Now, the negative aspects of this device are going to be that it only comes with 8 gigabytes of storage out of the box. So that was the biggest negative aspect I noticed right away. So if you go into storage, let's get to storage real quick. I did download about 15 to 20 of my apps, and you can see I only have 2.37 gigabytes available. Although this is expandable, you cannot move all of the apps over to the SD card. So you can pop in a bunch of space in terms of pictures and music, but in terms of apps, it's pretty limited. Out of the box, I had like 4.3 gigs before I actually put it. So yeah, it is pretty low. Although that's still plenty enough to get your main core apps on there. So that's pretty cool, you know, pun intended, Galaxy Core Prime, core apps. But you can put your core apps, like I got Instagram, Amazon, eBay, a couple of games, you know, Twitter, Evernote, Podcast Addict. I got Amazon Kindle. So I got plenty of core apps here. So overall, that's the first negative aspect. The second negative aspect is going to be the screen. It's not an HD AMOLED screen, and you know, we always want that. And although I said it's a great screen and positive, if I gotta say something negative about our device, it's not a full HD screen here in 2016. But that is all relative. If you're coming from a flip phone, this thing's gonna be beautiful. If you're coming from a full HD screen, this is gonna be pretty garbage. But it's all relative to your experiences in the phone game. What else is a negative aspect? There's not really many more than that. Oh, the apps can get sluggish sometimes when you have plenty of them open. So you're going to want to keep them down. You want to close these out here and there. Just keep it managed, you know. Go to Clean Master, clean it out, clear the cache, do those things, and you shouldn't have no trouble with performance. The apps do take a little bit longer to load than something like the S4, the S5, the S6, the S7, those more flagship devices. So just have a little bit more patience than you would. I would say patience as in maybe 2 seconds longer on each app to open. So yeah, that's another negative aspect. What's another negative aspect? There's not really any more. Oh, these buttons down here don't light up. So if you wanted those to light up, then you're shit out of luck there. No fingerprint scanner, but we wouldn't expect this. This device comes in at under 150 bucks. So yeah, that's pretty much a negative aspect on the Galaxy Core Prime. The speaker's a little bit tinny as well, not the loudest in the world. But yeah, not too much negative to say. I mean, those are kind of nitpicking, especially for the price, but we have to throw them in there because there is compromises on all devices. All right, guys, in this section, I just want to talk about the unique Samsung features that you get with the TouchWiz user interface on this device. And let's start off on the lock screen. So you get that like water droplet effect. And if I turn it up a little bit, you can kind of hear it's like bloop. So it gives you that little bloop effect. So yeah, you also get shortcuts to the camera and the phone from the lock screen. So those are TouchWiz features, as well as the weather up here on the lock screen. Another TouchWiz Samsung unique feature that you get is ultra power saving mode, as well as these quick toggles up here in the, you know, settings menu up here in the notification tray. So you get ultra power saving mode. Basically turns your phone into a dumb phone. I'm not going to do it here, but gives you 11.6 days and 93% battery. Or actually it gives you, this is the estimated and this is how much I have right now, but it gives you great battery life. Also, we talked about this, but it themes out, Samsung themes it out, so you get this white menu with, you know, color-coded icons, which makes it a little easier to see depending on your opinion. But my opinion, as long as they keep the colors like red, orange, it's pretty easy to remember that if you're a visual style of person. But overall, they didn't include so many Samsung features as you would expect on the flagship. It's pretty toned down, but you do get the Samsung wallpapers here. the S6 wallpapers, as you can see, which is a nice touch. And I really like these wallpapers. I think they're very, awesome. But that's just my opinion. You may differ. Let me know what you think of the wallpapers down below. And yeah, you get some extra, camera features with the camera. You get, Samsung's camera UI, but we're going to talk more about that in the camera section that's coming up here next. But overall, not too many Samsung features, but I just showed you pretty much the extra features that you're going to expect with the Samsung. So that's Samsung unique features here on the Core Prime. Alright guys, in this section we're going to talk about the camera on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime, and this is when a pleasant shocker actually. I actually really enjoy this camera even though it's 5 megapixel. So let's go into it, and you're going to see that you have all these features. So if we go into settings, you have the options to change the picture size, 5 megapixel. The only thing is you don't get 16:9 pictures, so they're not going to be those wide pictures if you put a video, like pictures on a video or something. So you get the 4:3 and the 5:3 and 1:1, some weird resolutions, but you know what? It is what it is. Video size, you get up to HD 720p, so that's acceptable, especially for this price at under 150 bucks. I think this phone right here was like 80 bucks, so not a big deal. You can change the memory card location to memory card or the device, and you could review your pictures, location tags, grid line, and such. Also, you got auto flash timer here. You got a few effects here, and you could see just like 4, but that's that's cool. We don't want this camera to get overly difficult to use. I mean, it is a Samsung device. They're going towards, I think they're trying to get their phones more simplistic. And you have the nice camera icon just like on the S5, as well as the front facing camera. Hello there. And then let's switch it around. Let's switch it back around. If we go to mode here, you're going to see you have the Pro mode, you have the panorama mode, continuous shot, beauty phase, sound shot, and sports. So we're not going to go into all of those, but let's just go into the Pro mode real quick. This is pretty cool that you can actually, even on a phone this cheap, you can change the white balance, the ISO, and the exposure rating here. So that's pretty awesome that you can change those things on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime here, especially at this price. Now the pictures are pretty amazing for what you're paying. Like let's keep the price in mind here. So this is a Canon camera shot. As you can see, very, very acceptable. Now this is with the flash. Now I think this has to do with Samsung's post sharpening process. They have, I don't know what they do with their cameras. They just know how to do cameras. Pretty good for phones. So you can see that's a pretty nice picture. Here's a video outside. We're going to play this real quick. So let's play this video. This is 720p back camera.
Alright guys, here's a little look at the back camera on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime. There is my dog. Hey Peyton, how's it going there, buddy? 720p. So it is HD, but it's not going to be full HD. So that is a little example of the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime back camera.
And then we have the front camera here.
Alright guys, so this is just a quick short example of the video recording on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime. As you can see, hand movement, see how the focus is. So that's the front-facing camera on the Galaxy Core Prime.
And here's a couple more pictures. There's a front-facing camera picture, so that's pretty good. Here's a back picture, and here's another back picture, and here's another, and here's another. They're all pretty solid. So that's the camera on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime. Alright guys, so what is the final verdict on the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime? This is the device for somebody who has small hands. They want a budget Galaxy device and don't want to drop all the money on the Samsung Galaxy S5, 6, 7, those more flagship devices. Or they just don't care about having all those specs, or they just, they don't want to spend a lot, or they just don't have the money to spend a lot. This device is going to be pretty solid for you. You get the similar software that you're going to get on the Samsung Galaxy S6. And it does have great battery life, great build quality, great cameras for what they are, and for their price. So yeah, that pretty much wraps this up. I think you should pick up this device if you're interested. Although, check out the Grand Prime too if you're in this market, as they're not too much different. I do think the Grand Prime is a bit better than this device, although the software looks nicer on this device than the Grand Prime. This device has prettier software, but I would say that the Grand Prime is probably a speedier, overall better phone than this. It has a bigger screen and all that. But once again, that's opinion. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this review, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And I will catch you all in the next episode. Be well and peace.